guys, today we're going to do the apple spice bun quilt.
This is the colors we're going to paint it in.
Yeah.
But here is what the line drawing looks like.
Right.
And we're going to do it on a 2x2. And first what you have to do with this pattern is figure out your grids. So pretty much this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 6 grid. Okay? Yeah, you got these little blocks here, but we won't worry about those right now. Okay? So it's a basic 6 grid pattern. So I'm going to take my measurements on my board, which is 24, and divide it by 6. And that is 4 inches. So your grid's going to be 4 inch. So you're going to come over here to the edge of your board, and you're going to mark every 4 inches, just a little tick mark. Here again, I have mine on Lazy Susan. You make the same mark every time, all the way around. Always remember that when doing your barn quilts, because if you try to go here and here and here, you can get really confused really fast, especially on a complicated pattern. So, Sophie is my videographer. She's leaving to go back to Florida, so I'm not going to be able to do many more of these before she leaves. But maybe if I do a couple, you can at least get an idea of how to go about making drawing out simple. Alright, now some people draw their grid. I don't draw a grid because when you draw a grid, that's a lot of lines to erase, and if you're using a light color to paint, sometimes it'll bleed through. I also use Crayola colored pencils to mark off because they erase and clean up, or a little water soluble if you need to take a little Q-tip and get them off. Okay, for your pattern, the first thing you're going to do is start, and you're going to go this direction. So on your board, if you lay your ruler across, you'll see that this particular, and I'm going to flip it over to where my hash marks are. Like this, okay. This particular line here goes over 1 grid, 2 grid, and stops. So if my grids are 4 inches each, this first line comes over 8 inches and 8 inches. So I come up to this mark and this mark, and I come over 8 inches and a stop, and I come here and go 8 inches and a stop. There's my first mark. I flip my board and I repeat. Okay? You got to break it down to lines. 8 inches and 8 inches.
So it kind of makes like a X when you're like, that's an X right there.
That forms your first corner blocks as you go around. Okay? Then I'm going to come up my board, and my next line is this line here. Okay? And it skips 4 inches and skips 4 inches and then goes all the way across. So I come to here, I'm going to skip my first 4 inches, and I'm going to go all the way across. Makes that line.
So it's basically a box with random lines inside of it.
Pretty much. See how I'm not drawing my grid, but my pattern's still coming out. I just found that this is just an easier way to do it. And sometimes when I'm doing this, I discover a new pattern along the way. Okay, so there's that line. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up, and there are no more vertical lines. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is take my paper and turn it diagonally, and I'm going to start with this line. So I'm going to come, take my board, and my next line forms a center square, and it comes point to point to point. See how it goes all the way across? go. Flip my board to the opposite direction. As you notice, I haven't moved, just my board's moved. Okay? There is that first vertical line across there. Now I'm going to come back, turn my board the opposite direction. Repeat. Turn my board opposite direction.
I mean, you don't even have to draw the square in the middle.
Nope, it makes its own. And as you notice, all your points line up. Okay? So there is my basic cross. It's formed all these little blocks, all these little triangles. Now I've got this point here, okay, and this point. And basically to do this, if you lay your ruler down on your paper, you'll see that this hash mark matches up with the corner of your board, okay, from here to here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come to our center point. We're going to go up here to the corner, okay, and we're just going to go from here, here again. I'm going to lay this to the side here. We're going to move our board around all the way around. And there you have it. Now we're going to come back. We're going to complete that point. We're just going to go to the opposite corner, which is probably pretty obvious to you by now. Okay?
And make a point.
Alright. See how I have no erasing to do. Takes that step completely out. There you go. Now the next thing is, you got this little one here in the middle, which is just half your little square. So if you recall, we did 4 inches. So I'm just going to come here and make a little mark at 2 and 2. Go around my board, same thing. 2 and 2.
So 21 and 2. Question mark. 2.
And 2. Now I'm going to come up to my mark I just made. Okay, and I'm going to put it on the 2 just because that's what I do. I'm going to come in 2 inches and I'm going to make a 2-inch mark. Same thing here, I'm going to come over 2 inches. Take my board around, same thing. I'm going to come out from this line here, 2 inches, and this line here, 2 inches. Oops, I went the wrong direction. Sorry about that, folks. Should come that direction. And this is just handy, but if you make a really big mistake, I have a really big eraser.
Small mistake, small eraser. Big mistake, huge eraser.
Sophie, why don't you show them the one you're working on behind you that you drew off by yourself?
I drew off and painted this one by myself and taped it.
What is it called?
The
Mariner's Compass.
compass.
Okay. Now flip back around here. And we're making our final mark. And there you have it. You have your apple spice with no erasing.
Besides, if you make a mistake.
Besides. So that's the way you do it. You can drop your colors in. I use Microsoft Microsoft Paint. I can go drop colors in any of these, switch them, save every image. I do 8 images per customer, and I have thousands and thousands and thousands on file. So this one's called Apple Spice. I've also heard it called strawberry fields. So it has a lot of different names. But like all quilt patterns, it's in the eye beholder. Call it anything you want once you draw off what you enjoy. That's it. Appreciate you watching. BarnQuiltHeadquarters.com, or message me on Facebook or through my website. If you have any questions, or if there's a specific pattern you want to see done, I will try to draw it out for you. Thank you.